Hi, my name is Jessica Johnson Sharp, and I'm going to be presenting my annotated bibliography for Professor Cameron Bentley's English 1101 course. My research paper is in response to the essay Cultural Baggage by Barbara Einrich. It's in the Cause and Effect Analysis section of 40 Model Essays, a Portable Anthology. My first source so far is a immigration timeline from the Liberty Ellis Foundation. The timeline shows the number of immigrants from all over the world that populated the United States at different time periods, and the text explains how these different groups melded into the culture of the United States. The source also covers different reasons that each group of immigrants came to the United States. Most of the immigrants flocked to the United States because of the war or famine in their home countries. The source also discusses the advancements throughout each time period, war, politics, any other major events that took place during those time periods. My second source is The Rise and Fall of the American Melting Pot. It's an article by Julia Higgins. Three main points of this article are Julia Higgins discusses the origin of the term melting pot as it's related to the United States. The term melting pot actually came from a play called The Melting Pot by Israel Zangwill. Zangwill wrote the play in 1908, and it's about a Russian immigrant coming to the U.S. The immigrant looks at the United States as a place of refuge, a beacon of light from all the dark places in the world, which is how most other immigrants viewed the United States at the time. The author also talks more in depth about the different reasons immigrants fled to America. She mentions the French Revolution, famine in Ireland, many other, major events that happened during the first half of the 19th century that caused millions to immigrate to the United States. She also talks about Chinese and the Japanese immigrants that came, to California for the railroad and the gold rush. The author also describes the truth behind our so-called melting pot. She describes how immigrants were actually mistreated, placed in camps, and forced to conform to our American way. The third source I found is an article called American Culture, Traditions and Customs of the United States. It's an article by Kim Ann Zimmerman. The three main points of this source, Zimmerman mentions the American culture and how it encompasses all of the cultures that immigrants brought to the United States. She also mentions how the United States is referred to as a melting pot, which is the common theme of all these sources. She discusses how we're one of the largest nations in the world and how we house so many different cultures, how each one has actually influenced our American culture today. The author also goes on to point out how the American culture is integrated into our art, food, language, religion, style, and actually what it is. I thoroughly enjoyed reading Einrich's piece, Cultural Baggage. I've never really heard anyone mention or speak of culture from that point of view before. Reading Einrich's article made me think of the many cultures that are enveloped in the United States and how we all got here, which is how I came up with my theme for my research paper. In my response to Einrich's article, I'll discuss American roots, how America became such a melting pot, and how we are embracing our melting pot culture today. Since starting my research, I've dug a little into the different perspectives of the great American melting pot, and I'm definitely learning that it wasn't as great and wonderful as we all learned in primary school. There were some really dark times, but I'm enjoying my research thus far, and I'm looking forward to putting it all together. Thank you for watching. Bye.